It's 1 in the morning. You're lying in the dark, replaying an argument that ended 6 hours ago. And there it is, the perfect line. Cutting, clean, exactly what you should have said. Except the room is empty. The other person is asleep across town. You lost that exchange hours ago, and your brain waited until now to hand you the winning move. This isn't a personal failure, it's a design feature, and there's a reason it waited for the stairs. Nearly everyone has felt this. You freeze in the moment, then win the whole argument alone, out loud, in the shower. The French have a phrase for it, and it comes from a scene about 250 years old. In an essay written in the 1770s, the philosopher Diderot describes sitting at a dinner party, hit with a remark so sharp it left him speechless. He couldn't respond. He couldn't think. And then, walking down the host's staircase on his way out, the perfect reply finally arrived. Too late to use. He called it the wit of the staircase, l'espritdelescalier. Here's the part worth waiting for. That delay isn't random, and it isn't you being slow. In the moment that mattered, part of your brain physically went offline, and it doesn't switch back on until you're on the stairs. Most people assume the delay means they're just not quick, not clever, bad at confrontation. The opposite is closer to the truth. The part of your brain that generates a sharp, flexible, on-the-spot reply is the prefrontal cortex, the newest and most advanced region you have, the seat of your highest level thinking. And it is the single most fragile part of your brain under stress. In a 2009 paper in the journal Nature Reviews Neuroscience, Yale neuroscientist Amy Arnsten laid out the mechanism. When you feel threatened and out of control, and a hostile remark in front of other people absolutely counts, your brain floods the prefrontal cortex with two chemicals, norepinephrine and dopamine. In small amounts, they sharpen you. In a flood, they do the reverse. They rapidly weaken the prefrontal cortex and hand control to older, faster, blunter systems built for one job. React now, think later. The impairment shows up within the first 10 minutes of the pressure landing. So the clever part of you doesn't slowly lose the argument. It goes dark almost the instant it's needed. You know the feeling from the inside. Your face gets hot. Your heart picks up. Someone says something cutting and your mind, the same mind that is perfectly witty on a walk, in the car, in the shower, returns nothing. A blank wall. That blankness isn't stupidity. It's the most sophisticated equipment you own being switched off to keep you alive. Your brain made a trade it makes every time it senses a threat. It dropped the tool that composes a devastating comeback and kept the tool that helps you run from a predator. Evolution didn't optimize you for winning dinner party arguments. It optimized you for not dying. The comeback simply wasn't a survival priority. Go back to that dinner in the 1770s. The host was Jacques Necker, a statesman who would soon run the finances of France. Someone at the table aimed a remark at Diderot, and Diderot, one of the sharpest minds of the entire Enlightenment, the man editing the vast encyclopedia that would help define the age, froze. He wrote about it afterward, almost clinically. A sensitive man, he said, gets so caught up in the attack that he loses his head and doesn't find it again until he reaches the bottom of the stairs. This is one man's account of one evening. But look at what it means. The person who gave this whole phenomenon its name was a genius, and it happened to him anyway. Being brilliant is no protection. The stairs come for everyone. So why the stairs? Why does the reply arrive there, of all places, and not in the room where you needed it? Here's the most likely answer. The prefrontal shutdown isn't permanent. It's tied to the stress, and the moment the threat is gone, the chemistry starts to reverse. You say your goodbyes. You step out of the room. You start down the staircase, alone. No audience, no one watching your face. The pressure drops, the norepinephrine falls, and the prefrontal cortex quietly comes back online, right on schedule, right as you reach the bottom step, with nothing left to use it on. The wit was never gone. It was locked behind a door your own biology had bolted shut. And here is the cruelty of the timing. The system that shut down your cleverness is the same one that kept your ancestors alive. Freeze, react, survive. That reflex is far older than language itself. The witty comeback is a luxury your brain will sacrifice the instant it smells danger, real or social. Your body can't tell the difference between a saber-tooth and a sneering coworker. It runs the same emergency program for both. Which means the delay you feel isn't a glitch. It's the program working exactly as designed, guarding you from a threat that, in a modern conversation, was never going to hurt you at all. So the next time it's 1 in the morning and the perfect line arrives 6 hours late, don't take it as proof that you're slow. Take it as proof of the opposite. The reply was always in you. Your brain just refused to hand it over while it believed you were in danger, and returned it the second you were safe. Every one of us walks down that staircase. Diderot did, in a mansion in Paris 2.5 centuries ago. You do, in the dark, replaying a conversation nobody else is still thinking about. The words were never missing. You just met them on the stairs, a little too late, which is the closest thing your mind has to an apology for keeping you alive.